For today's Elden lore, we're doing something a little different from our usual deep dives. Recently, we found ourselves discussing the various theories surrounding the world of Elden Ring. It's fair to say that Elden Ring provides more context than most FromSoft games when it comes to the history of the world and its characters. While there are blind spots, much of the overarching lore exists in-game if you look hard enough. However, that doesn't mean it's easy to refute the theories making their way through the community. For today's video, we've nailed down 5 of our favorite theories, and we wanted to talk through them with our viewers. We don't mean to imply that these are absolutely true, rather lay out the theory and the thoughts behind why they're plausible. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoy our videos, and with that said, let's begin. The Night of Black Knives is considered the inciting incident behind the shattering. Without the death of Godwyn, Marika does not shatter the Elden Ring, and the demigods never go to war. But what if this incident was simply part of a larger plan? This theory posits that Marika helped Ranni plan the Night of Black Knives in order to break the Greater Will's hold on the lands between. The first clue we have to this theory comes in the dialogue we can uncover through various sites of grace through Melina. She outlines how Marika wanted the Tarnished to fight and become strong so they could one day come back to the lands between in conquest. Why would Marika want this to happen? The Tarnished were already part of her Golden Order, so what purpose would there be in banishing them and telling them to return once they were given back their grace? If Marika had a plan to defeat the Greater Will and rid it from the lands between, suddenly our exile and return by the guidance of grace makes perfect sense. Marika no longer wished to be a pawn, and we were her way out. Then we have the matter of Ranni. Ranni clearly wanted to be free of her role as an Empyrean, so she hired the Black Knife Assassins to assist her in her plot. But how would she come into contact with this group? With the knowledge that the Black Knives were all Newman, it seems like a connection to Queen Marika is not out of the question. Reinforcing this is the fact that there's a Black Knife Assassin stationed outside of Marika's bedchamber, defending it from would-be looters and Tarnished. Outside of this room, we also see the bridge littered with the bodies of Finger Reader crones, who would be enemies of the Queen if her true goal was to break the Golden Order. With this in mind, it seems likely that Godwyn was simply a sacrifice that had to be made in order for Ranni to lose her body, and leave the Fingers with no Empyrean candidates to take the role of vessel for the Elden Ring. Without Ranni, there's only Melina, who was cursed by the rot, and Miquella, who was cursed with youth, 2 unfit vessels. Another factor here is Smithing Master Hugh. As we know, he was imprisoned in the Round Table Hold and tasked by Queen Marika with the burden of creating a weapon that could kill a god. Why would she do this if she didn't intend for a Tarnished to eventually end the Greater Will once and for all? With all of this in mind, it comes across as plausible that Marika had a hand in these events, and that they were always part of a larger scheme to have the Tarnished fulfill their purpose of defeating the Greater Will. There are still many lore channels that believe Radagon was nothing more than a persona taken on by Queen Marika, a shade that allowed her to interact with the world away from her throne. However, this theory shows us there's much more proof that Radagon existed in his own right as a separate body from Marika, even if they were originally one being. The idea here is that at some point Radagon was split off from Marika in order to be a champion for the Golden Order, capable of fighting in their wars and even creating peace between the Carian royal family and the Golden Order through his marriage to Queen Rennala. While some say Radagon was always Marika in disguise, there are many item descriptions that describe Radagon as if he was his own person. Radagon's icon tells us, as the husband of Rennala of Caria, the red-haired Radagon studied sorcery, and as the husband of Queen Marika, he studied incantations. Thus did the hero aspire to be complete. Why would he need to study incantations if he was Marika? He would already have access to the power of the Elden Ring. The giant's red braid whip also tells us, every giant is red of hair, and Radagon was said to have despised his own red locks. Perhaps that was a curse of their kind. Again, if his hair was nothing more than a disguise, why would he curse it? Some think that when Marika split Radagon from herself, It may have even been an intentional act to remove the curse of the fell god of the fire giants from her body, which would explain Radagon's giant-like hair, but there isn't much evidence to back this up. When we obtain Marika's hammer, it is described as a stone hammer made in the lands of the Numen, outside the lands between, the tool with which Queen Marika shattered the Elden Ring, and Radagon attempted to repair it. This solidifies that even if they were one physical body, Radagon had agency of his own. When Marika attempted to destroy the Elden Ring, Radagon stepped forward and attempted to repair it. The reason Marika and Radagon were made one again within the Erd Tree was so that Radagon could defend what was left of the ring from those that would try to complete Marika's mission. Lastly, there's a lingering echo that seems to be Marika speaking directly to Radagon.
O Radagon, leal hound of the Golden Order, thou art yet to become me. Thou art yet to become a god. Let us be shattered, both. Mine other self.
To us, this is the biggest indication that Marika and Radagon were once of two different bodies. She says thou art yet to become me, meaning they are not one. This seems like concrete evidence, unless it comes from a mistranslation of the original Japanese line. The question of who Melina truly is cannot be answered with any certainty. We have many clues, such as her being born of Marika and her moveset when we summon her to battle alongside of us, but it's hard to say exactly what any of it means. Some think Melina is the Gloam-Eyed Queen, others believe she is somehow connected with Ranni. Regardless of who you think she is, we know thanks to the Frenzied Flame ending that she has the potential to wield the power of the Gloam-Eyed Queen. Whether or not she was aware that she had this potential is unknown, but should you inherit the flame, she does directly threaten you.
You have inherited the Frenzied Flame. A pity. You are no longer fit. Our journey together ends here. And remember, should you rise as the Lord of Chaos, I will kill you. As sure as night follows day, such is my duty. For allowing you the strength of runes. Goodbye, my companion. Goodbye, Torrent.
She feels responsible for her part in bringing us strength and vows to destroy us should we ascend the throne. If we do this, she says she will deliver unto us destined death during a cutscene where she opens her left eye, and we see that her tattoo now looks more like a scar, and her eye is swirling with a purplish magic. So how did this happen? How did Melina inherit the power of destined death? We believe that by burning the Erd Tree and unleashing destined death, the power itself made its way to a vessel that could support it. Melina, for whatever reason, has the capability to control destined death. If she is truly a child of Marika, that would make her Numen, and we know the Gloam-Eyed Queen was also Numen. This means Melina always had the potential to wield the Gloam-Eyed Queen's power over destined death, but the only way she could ever inherit it is for the Frenzied Flame to burn the tree, leaving her alive when destined death itself was once again released across the lands between. Miquella is a mystery that we hope to get some answers to in future Elden Ring DLC. There's a significant amount of cut content based around the World of Dreams and St. Trina, who that content confirms was Miquella. If this cut storyline was meant to be canon, and it's brought back into the game at some point, it creates a strong theory around the idea that Miquella is searching the World of Dreams for a way to revive Godwyn the Golden. When we visit Castle Sol, we come across spirits talking about the frigid sun of Sol and soulless bones. The frigid sun likely refers to an eclipse, and a specific spirit speaks directly to Miquella, saying, "Lord Miquella, forgive me. The sun has not been swallowed. Our prayers are lacking. Your comrade remains soulless. I will never set eyes upon it now, your divine Haligtree." While all of the nameless demigods within the walking mausoleums are referred to as soulless, this theory posits that the comrade that remains soulless is Godwyn, the soulless demigod Miquella was most likely to have any kind of relationship with. The Eclipse Crest Great Shield tells us, The eclipsed sun, drained of color, is the protective star of soulless demigods. It aids the Mausoleum Knights by keeping destined death at bay. This would mean the eclipse may have the ability to overturn destined death, as the headless Mausoleum Knights carrying these shields are clearly up and walking. Knowing that Miquella's followers were trying to revive GODWYN through the use of an eclipse in order to gain entrance into the Haligtree, it seems as though the two brothers shared a strong bond, one which Miquella would not allow to be severed by death. We know Miquella sleeps within the egg to break his own curse, but upon his waking, should he take the Elden Ring, he'll need a consort of his own to be Elden Lord, and this theory puts forth GODWYN as the perfect candidate, if only Miquella can find a way to restore his soul. This last theory stems from the depiction of the Elden Ring that we can find in crumbling Farum Azula after defeating Malekith. This image of the Elden Ring shows significantly more runes, making it look like roots spreading out. What this theory tells us is that the Elden Ring was once made up of many more runes than we can find today, and they were whittled down and lost due to Marika's other children being murdered. When we say Marika's other children, we are referring to demigods that existed long before our Tarnished made our way to the lands between. Some say these demigods are the remains we can find in the walking mausoleums. When resting at the capital outskirts, we can hear echoes of Queen Marika saying,
"Hear me, demigods. My children beloved, make of thyselves that which ye desire. Be it a lord, be it a god. But should ye fail to become aught at all, ye will be forsaken, amounting only to sacrifices."
If we accept that these nameless demigods were once children of Marika as well, then these would be the ones amounting only to sacrifices. Further proof of this comes from a stranded soul in the Weeping Peninsula who says, "The mausoleum prowls, cradling the soulless demigod. O Marika, Queen Eternal, he is your unwanted child." A short theory to say the least, but it makes sense considering that there are dead demigods in the mausoleums, and others are known to have accumulated great runes before us, such as Vike and Bernal. Their runes must have come from somewhere, right? Thank you for joining us in our exploration of 5 of our favorite theories surrounding the world of Elden Ring. Do you have any theories of your own to share? Do you disagree with any of these, and why? Let us know in the comments. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed this kind of video and would like to see more list content. We look forward to seeing you again for more Elden Lore.